So if you want to be able to use Alt-DO, try as much as possible to make sure that you have filled like 1 or 2 rows. So you will now put your cursor on one of those rows you have filled and press Alt-D-O. You can see now, I just press it and it pops up. If I need to add more thing, I'll just say new and I will start adding the data. So can you try that again? No, it doesn't mean whether you use Excel, even if you are using Excel 2007, the commands work. So far it is Excel, it will work. Alt, maybe you are not doing the right thing. Let me help you to check so that I can repeat myself. Okay, I think I know what's the issue you are having. Press Alt, don't remove your hand before. Press Alt, don't remove your hand. Someone raise his hand. Mr. Daniel, please, can you use the chat box? So whenever you are using Alt-DO, please make sure you press your hand on Alt. Don't remove it before you click DO. If you remove your hand, you might not get what I've gotten. So you need to put your hand on the Alt. Don't remove your hand from the Alt. Now press DO. It will definitely pops up. Okay, let's move forward. I think it's time. We have been able to see in this class, so far we have been able to discuss what the curriculum is all about. We explained the HR analytics. We explained the HR metrics. And we started the practical with the Microsoft Excel, where we look into sheets and workbook. In every workbook, we can have as many worksheets as possible. And in every worksheet, we have rows and columns, we have cells. We can know the number of rows, we can know the number of cells, the number of columns using Shift Control down right, 1 Control Enter, as the case may be. We've also talked about headers. That is, what are the feed? Each column must have a feed, what it denotes. If I have a feed of first name, it means anything in that field will be first name, nothing else. So that is what is expected as part of the skills you need for analytics. And this last point, which is data entry, I've been able to chip it in while explaining headers. I was able to explain how to use Alt-DO in my presentation. Now, in this class, I've been able to use Alt-DO, and I believe majority of us, yes, fantastic. People said it worked. Yes, a round of applause. Yes, that was good. Thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Yes, that's good. I will have given you a candy, but it is online. So we've explained the data entry. Let's now look at quantitative and qualitative data. No, someone said you cannot replicate 1 by pressing Alt-Shift down. I didn't set Alt-Shift down. Look at this place on the screen. What I use is what is here. You will press Shift Control down. If you want to know the number of rows, Shift Control down. When you press Shift Control down, you will now press 1, then Control Enter. To know the number of rows. Let me duplicate this so that people can catch up with that. So this one, Shift Control right, is the one we use for the column. Press 1, Control Enter. So that is the shortcut we use for column. To know the number of columns. But for to know the number of rows, shift control down. You press 1 after it, followed by control enter. That is for rows, to know the number of rows. Please, you can practice this at your leisure time as well. So it's part of your assignment. So let's quickly look into data. Data are raw facts. Data are what? Data are raw facts. You can see this is a data which I've just entered now. Particulars of some people that apply for a job. So when we say the data, they are raw facts. Even this class, we are gathering data. I was able to do something that allow everybody to participate in this class, which I'm happy to share with you. Do you know that I use a Google form to create the link that you all apply through? And from this Google form, I was able to export your response into Excel. And from this Excel, I did a kind of manipulation using some formula. And that was what I used to send messages to all of you that applied. I'm happy to share that with you before I continue, just for you to know how effective the knowledge of data analytics has gone. Let me share the whole screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm sharing the whole screen. If you can see it, just say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Okay. Aye. Please use the chat box. Sorry. Use the chat box.
Aye.
Yeah. Please use the chat box so that it won't cause a kind of a distraction. Yes, you can see that this is, I created this free class on a Google form. These are the questions I asked everybody. And as they are responding, I'm getting the response in the same Google form. It shows me the response of everybody. This is data collection process. If you can do a kind of HR, a kind of recruitment with this form as well. And I was able to use this to export it into Excel, a Google Sheet Excel form. And it is from this form I was able to use a formula towards the end. And that is the formula I used to send. I link this Google Sheet to my WhatsApp page, and I was able to send everybody that customized message. It will pick your first name, it will pick your phone number, and it will send the message directly to you. So that is the power of Microsoft Excel. That is the power of Microsoft Excel. That's the power of having the knowledge of data. So you, at the same time, in this Google form, you can create quiz. You don't need to monitor the quiz. You will be able to see the scores of the participants. How many people have attended the quiz? What is their score? And a lot of information like that. So just to show you that it is not something of it is a practical. It's something that is practical. When you are doing it, you'll be seeing results. It's not a rote learning. So data are raw fact or observable value of variables. It is from that data you can now make some kind of analysis and be able to explore as much as you can. So these are the kind of things you put in place when you are dealing with data. You'll be able to exploit more and you'll be productive. You spend little time. People will thinking, how are you doing it? What I've just showed you now, I consult for an edtech company and I did that for them. It's a service, of course. And they were like, wow. I said, guy, if you know you don't have money to buy software, there's a better way to do this. Let's improvise. And I created that solution. So data is everywhere these days. You can't do without data. This class we are attending today is a class that involves a collection of data. If I didn't collect the data, I won't be able to reach out to you guys. People apply from different parts of the country. But because of the data collection process, I was able to reach you, and we're able to find ourselves in this class and learn together. We now have two types of data. We have the quantitative and qualitative data. Quantitative and qualitative data. Any data that is numeric, that has to do with number, is called quantitative. Anyone that has to do with text is called qualitative. Qualitative data. So that's the difference between the two. Quantitative, numeric. Any data that is numeric is quantitative. If it is text or non-numeric, that is qualitative data. That's just the difference. So in an Excel, if I put 25, let's say I put 23, what position do you find? Use the chat box. Is it at the left side or at the right side? When I wrote 23, it stands in what position of this cell? Is it at the left or at the right or at the middle? Can you use your chat box? Can I get a response? Right, good. Yes, right. Is at the right. So in an Excel, when you enter any numeric data, it will always be at the right. So any quantitative data will be at the right, QR, quantitative, right. Don't let me use Q. Let me use number, any numeric, R, right. Let me press analytics. Or let me press a simple one. Let's say the same I that people are typing. I type I. In what position do I have an I? Is it left or right? So this is important because sometimes there's some data that's supposed to be text, but they will appear as number. So you need to convert them. Otherwise, your analysis will be very wrong. That is why all these simple knowledge are very important. You should know the difference between a text and numbers, and you should know how it appears in an Excel sheet. So any text will appear at the right, text, right, TR. Any number and TL rather, TL rather, TL, left. Text will appear at the left, numbers will appear at the right. Numbers, right, NR. TL, text, left. Numeric will appear, we stand at the right. Text will stand at the left. So now you know what a quantitative data is. You know what a qualitative data is. Anything that is text, be it name, be it whatever, just like this data, this is, you can see that there is a space in front of Abdullah. It put it at the left. There's a space in front of Miriam. There's a space at the left. The same thing with the last name. But something happened at the date of birth. Do you notice? Some stay at the left, some stay at the right. It means the one that stay at the left doesn't exist as a number, and it's supposed to be number, but it exists as a text. So you need to correct it when you have this kind of data. If you don't correct it, your analysis will be wrong. It is only this one that exists at the right that is correct. This one and this one, it exists as a text, and it will make your analysis wrong. You have to correct it during the cleaning process. You can see the numeric value or the salary. They are on the right. They are perfectly okay. Can you see the difference where all this knowledge, these are the kind of background knowledge that is important for you to be able to use Microsoft Excel effectively. Having talked about the quantitative and the qualitative, there is an aspect in statistics that talks about this quantitative and qualitative. Please mute yourself. Someone is trying to unmute yourself. Mute. If you want to talk, use the chat box. I will see it and I will respond. I'm about to remove someone now. Okay. I think I've seen the person I want to remove. By God's grace, I will remove the person. Done. Yes, we can continue with our class. Now, this quantitative data we are talking about can come in two types. The first type, district. The second, continuous. Continuous. We have district data and we have continuous data. Let me bold this so that you can see that we have district data and we have continuous data. Those are the two types of quantitative data, district and continuous. What do I mean by district? Anything that can take whole number is district. You can't tell me you have 3.5 children in your house. Is that possible? If you are filling a form and you now put 3.5, number of children, you now put 3.5, is that possible? It's not possible. It's either you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 7. It has to be whole number. So any numeric value that is whole number is district data. But the one that can take either decimal number or whole number, that is the one we call continuous data. Like height, weight, 3.5, 3.7. So those one, they can take decimal numbers and they can take whole number. It could be either of the two. So as a result of that, we can say all continuous data are district data, but the converse is not always true. The converse is not always true. All continuous data are district data, but not all district data are continuous data. So a continuous data can be whole number, it can be decimal number. The one that has points, that's what we call decimal. The one that doesn't have points, that is straightforward, counting number, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's whole numbers. The qualitative data is the one we also call categorical data in our basic statistics. We call it categorical data. And these categorical data are measured en français, noir, nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Anything that is numeric might be challenging to measure, but they now come up with a scale by which we can measure it. They make it nominal, N, O, ordinal, I, interval, and R, ratio. So those are the measures we use to measure data. And these are basic knowledge, which you should understand when you have any kind of data set which you are working on. We have been able to explain this quantitative and qualitative data, given examples that we are familiar with in our society. So it is 4:30. Just to keep to time. In this class today, we have been able to go through what a HR analytics curriculum is all about. We are able to share with the class the steps or the stages, the phases required of you to be able to have a comprehensive understanding of HR analytics. And we have been able to add value in terms of learning the basics of Microsoft Excel, to know what a worksheet means, what a workbook means, what is row, what is column, how can I know these are headers, how can I enter data on my own, how can I know the type of data I'm seeing or I can see, what is the number of rows I have in Excel, what is the number of columns. So this is what we have been able to explain in this class. So as a result of this, if we are interested to have more enlightenment on how you move to the next stage, you can send me a message through the WhatsApp for more details, whereby we're going to, in our next cohort, which is going to be 4th of June, next week, Saturday, we are starting a new cohort where we shall revise all what I've mentioned in this class, and we continue with these essential tabs. So we're going to look at how can you use file. Most of us, when we use file in our office, we are not always being careful. Like this file now, you can see that I'm trying to save this file. I need to be careful so that I won't save it. If I save this file, I need to be very careful. Am I saving it as me being the author, or I'm putting someone's person's name? So under info, I can look at it. You can see that the author of the Excel sheet is Segun Akiode. Do you see that now? So meaning that if you share a file with someone and you are working on it, your line manager can think you are not the owner, someone that did the job, whereas you might be the one that did the job. So you can edit and add yourself as the author. Do you get it now? You can add yourself as the author. Just clicking this, you can put your name, just like I want to put my name now. I've been able to put my name. And if I want to remove this person's name, I can do that. I will just need to remove it from the contact. Yes. So from the contacts, you can pin out, you can also remove. And it was able to show who was the person that had it the last time. And you'll be able to do that as well. You can do that as well at your leisure. So with this, I will right click on it and remove. If I want to remove the person, if I want to add another person, I can. If I want to remove myself, I just need to right click and remove. You can see the options, remove person. So all this will be explained during the master class. And in addition, we are going to look at each of these, how to use Format Painter. How do you use all these alignment? How do you wrap text? How do you use match and center? How do you do computation, addition, subtraction, division? How do you add currency? How can you add Naira? You are only seeing dollar. There is Naira in this place. How can you add Naira? We are going to talk about this during our class. How do you use conditional formatting? How do you use format as table, self, everything. The same thing in insights. We're going to walk through all these. The same thing with formulae, the essential formulas, the same thing with data. So these are the things we do, and we have been doing this. We have some of our students that also participated in this class, and they can give a testimony what has been the experience. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending. If you're interested in the master class, you can get in touch with me through the WhatsApp, which I contact you for this class with. And if you're interested in the ebook, Learn and Earn with Microsoft Excel for data analysis in 7 weeks, is a book which I just published on Amazon. You can get your copy. For the purpose of this class, it is cost, but you'll be getting it for 2,500. A copy, which is a pre-order copy, so which is 2,500. I'm also happy to share with you my the YouTube channel. In the YouTube channel, you can have a kind of tips and information about data, mathematics, operation research, and the likes. So mostly quantitative So that's what you can find in my YouTube channel. If you're interested also in our class, like I said, feel free to get in touch with me and we can take the conversation further. So thank you so much, everybody, for giving me this privilege to share this knowledge at this moment. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have gotten value for what is embedded in the curriculum. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate this because it's one thing for call people, is another thing for them to respond. What if I send out the link and nobody is responding? So I really appreciate that as well. So you can use the link I'm sharing for you to, if you want to have this soft material or you want to be part of this coming cohorts of HR analytics, where we look into the details of all this and those other parts we couldn't cover in this free class. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time once again. I'm Abdullah Okwemi Falade, your data analyst, data scientist, trainer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Some people might feel like, we don't even see the face of this guy. Please let me show my face. So I'm, I'm your boy, but I just want us to get distracted. I don't want us to get it. I think the light is okay. I think it's the light is better now. So this is my face. I'm your boy. I'm your little boy trying to make impact with knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Please, let's continue the conversation on our WhatsApp as we have other engagement as well. So, but we have like 10 minutes more. Is there any question, please? If you have a question, please, can you unmute and talk? I think that's privilege. We have 10 minutes before we go.
Yes. Is the class continuing next week?
The class is not continuing next week. It is the master class that continue next week, Saturday. So the master class is Saturday and Sunday for 6 weekends. So the next week, Saturday and Sunday will be the beginning of it's going to be the beginning of our intensive class. So for people that are interested, they can just get in touch with me so that I will get them registered and give them the proper information needed for them to be part of the class. And that will definitely be a kind of bonus and consideration as well.
Please, how much is the next class? How much
Yes,
do we for them?
the intensive class is 30,000 for 6 weekends.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Any other question? We still have like few more minutes, be it on what I've explained, be it on the curriculum which I've shared. Feel free to ask questions. I'm here to listen to you.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Then for the one of the next week, you say it's 30,000 naira for 6 weeks. How many
6
hours
weekends.
per day?
Yes,
How many hours per?
so per day it is 1 hour 30, but by my nature, I can tell you sometimes we spend 3 hours.
No, I know
Sometimes
you can, but what's the time frame?
the time
Because
frame
I have
is
other
2 hours
engagement and
max. 2 hours max.
starting
But
from where and to when?
the class starts for Saturday, the
Yes,
class starts from 10:30.
of 10:30.
And on Sunday, it starts
Okay.
by 3.
Okay, Saturday, 10:30. So it can be 10:30 to like 1
Yes,
in most cases.
yes,
Okay, Sunday is when?
3 p.m.,
3 p.m. to
5,
to
or to 5
5.
sometimes.
Or to when?
To 5 sometimes, or 5, but max is 5.
Max is 5. So just looking at, let's say, 2 hours per day.
Yes, So across 6 weekends like that.
Okay, it's okay. I'm just looking at the other engagement I have some
Yes,
Saturdays and
certifications.
Sundays.
Yes, there's certification. You will be given tasks to do. So there'll be a class assessment. There'll be a class
Okay.
participation, class individual assessment, group assessment. And this is what will determine your certificates. Because we can't just issue
I'm not
certificates.
talking about no, I'm
No,
not talking
someone
about
is asking.
certificate.
Yeah, someone is asking
Okay.
on the chat box. I'm trying to respond to that. So we want to make sure
Okay.
that to some extent, people have that skills which they can boast of anywhere that, yes, I can do this. Give me Excel. Give me the data. I can do this. So that's why we put some assessment into place before the certificate is being issued.
Okay. Then let me ask, if someone makes a Saturday or like a weekend, is there any way to augment it for the person?
Yes, so the person needs to pre-informed the facilitator, the tutor, so that the necessary possible way will be put into place.
Okay, because I have a program I run Saturdays and Sundays, so I know that there is some weekend I might not be able, some weekends I'll be able. So those weekends I
Yes,
might not
so
be
you
able,
need to
that is
send a
clashing.
message to the facilitator as early as possible so that it's going to put that into consideration. Some people are raising their hands.
Okay.
Please,
Thank you. Let me unmute so they can
okay,
ask
please,
their
others, you
questions.
can ask your question. Videlia, Elizabeth,
Hi, Abdullah.
hi.
Hello.
Nice to have you. I
Yeah,
can hear you.
okay. So thank you
You're
for
welcome.
this session.
You're
Actually,
welcome.
when I saw you facilitating, I had to drop some things I wanted to do to attend. So
Really?
probably, I think, yes, I think probably we already had a should I say already? I already appreciated, but I just thought to also bring it on this particular platform to tell you that I actually passed my OR in
Wow.
CIPM again.
Wow.
You know
Congratulations.
already, but I just want to tell you again and tell everybody
Thank you so
that
much.
I
Thank you so
actually
much.
passed my OR
Thank you.
because of your YouTube classes, and
Thank you so.
it was very helpful.
Thank you.
So I'm thrilled. I've gotten the certification now. I collected my certificate on
Wow. You
Friday.
got inducted.
Yes,
Wow. That's
yes, I was inducted on Friday.
wow.
I
That's
actually
so. Where's our
finished
fried
last
rice?
year.
Where's our fried rice?
I beg leave CIPM alone. I actually
Wow. Wow.
finished last year, but it was on Friday I collected my certificate.
That's
Why I'm sharing this is because I'm not doing free market, or I'm not trying to, but I know that he's good and I'm excited. I actually saw another analytics program I wanted to enroll, but I let me just leave it for this one. But I would also want to suggest that probably you make room for us as regards scheduling, because most of us, we have other programs that we're running. So
okay.
yeah, so that at least it can fit into our schedule.
Okay. So what time schedule do you suggest so we can? This is human resource process as well. We can try to create an enabling environment for each other. So there's always a way as an HR. So
Yeah. So
there's always a way.
for me, the timing is okay for me.
Okay.
I heard 10:30 and 3 o'clock. That's
Ye-
Saturday 10:30, Sunday 3 o'clock. It's
Yes.
fine for me. But I
We'll
also
have even
heard some.
started earlier. We will have even started earlier that Saturday, but people can like maybe nursing mothers, people that need to take care of children, also do some things in the family, so that it won't take much of their time. So they will have settled to some extent to attend. That's why we push it further from being an early class. So, and someone is asking her that they work on Saturday. Yes, I can understand. Even sometimes from the previous cohorts that we had, Some people receive lecture from office, though they won't be able to talk. They will be part of the class. And if they have any question, they send through the chat. So if that opportunity is there, it's fine. And after the class, I'm always free to respond to chats for inquiries, or if you need anything, just chat me up and wait for a few minutes for me to respond.
Okay, so there's something I also saw from one facilitator I listened to about analytics.
Okay.
So they call it Power BI.
Yes. So if you can use Excel,
Okay.
I can bet you Power BI will be your baby.
Okay.
Because it was built on Excel. If you look at this place, there's something we call Power Pivot. So it is the Power Pivot and Pivot Table. You can see I did something the other time. I showed Pivot Table. It is the Power Pivot and the Pivot Table. The knowledge of these two were augmented for you to be able to use Power BI effectively.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So for me, I don't really have
Will I be teaching
foundation.
VLOOKUP? Definitely. I will teach not only VLOOKUP, I will teach index and match.
Okay.
I will teach VLOOKUP. I will teach nested if. Index and match, VLOOKUP. How can you use nested if function? I will teach can't if, can't ifs. In fact, all the formulas you need in Excel, I will treat them. I know close to 450 formulae that I can use, but I will only give you the essential ones you need.
I look forward to the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.